Day 8, House of Shutters. Some houses die quietly. They rot, they fall, they fade into the vines. But the House of Shutters, it breathes, and baby, it remembers. There's an old road off St. Martin's Bend, half covered in pine needles, half swallowed by kudzu. Drive down far enough and you'll see it. A crumbling mansion 3 stories high, with more shutters than windows. Some nailed tight, and some swinging loose. All of them whisper when the wind blows right. And you say that house was once beautiful, built by the Marchands, a proud family with sugar money and secrets. Verandas wrapped around it like arms, had cypress pillars and leaded glass. But that was a long time ago, before the fire, before the madness, and before it got its name. See, the Marchands, they loved their privacy. Every window was shuttered, not curtains, shutters, heavy, wooden, thick as coffin lids. But they weren't to keep things out. They were to keep something in. Old tales say Mrs. Marchand started it. She was delicate, always chilled. Said the sunlight gave her migraines, so the shutters stayed closed. Then her son went to war, and he never came back. He'd sit by the window, mumbling. Well, he never came back the same, that is. He'd sit by the window, mumbling, drawing symbols on the floor with chalk and charcoal. When the shutters flapped, he'd scream. Said the house was listening. Said the thing behind the shutters wanted out. So he nailed them shut. All of them. Even the attic. And then the fire came. And it started in the parlor. Flames rolled through the sitting room, ate the piano, curled the paintings into ash. But the shutters didn't burn. Not one. Even when the walls collapsed and the roof gave in, the shutters stood and remained closed, untouched. The firemen who attended the fire, they swore they heard voices from inside. One man said he saw eyes glowing behind the slats. But when they broke down the front door, the house was empty. No bodies, no bones, no sign the Marchands had ever even lived there. Just the shutters, still nailed shut. And years passed. Kids dared each other to run up and knock on the door. Most didn't make it past the front gate, but one did. Her name was Angie Dupree. She was brave, wild-haired, and had a knack for trouble. You know the sort. She marched up to that porch, called the house old and boring, and knocked. The shutter to her left opened, all on its own, and inside she saw a hand, pale and thin, scraping at the glass. She screamed and ran, swore she felt something grab her braid and tug as she ran. When her mama washed her hair that night, she found a rust-colored handprint on the back of Angie's neck. Now, years later, someone tried to flip that house. Realtor from Baton Rouge thought he'd made a fortune turning it into bed and breakfast. First day on site, his crew started unscrewing the shutters. One came off easy, but the next one, blood-red paint oozed from the hinges. Third shattered in his hands, splitters flying like shrapnel. That night, His lead carpenter fell down the staircase. Said something pushed him. They gave up after a week. Left the shutters in place. Those that they had removed, they just left them in a pile. By morning, every single one was back in place. Nailed shut, just like before. Now, locals, especially the older folks, well, they started warning each other. Don't look too long at the upstairs windows. If the shutter's moving, there ain't no wind, you better run. If you hear a name call from inside, don't answer. Because the house, well, it learns. It remembers. And worst of all, it talks back. A few years ago, a hiker got lost and took shelter on the porch. Found a yellowed envelope nailed to the door. On the front it said, "To the one who dares." Inside was a single line: "If you open them, they open you." No one knows what that means. But the hiker says he still hears knocking at his window every October, no matter where he lives. Now, some say it's the spirits of the Marshans, some say it's a demon trapped by a seance. Others whisper the house itself is alive, made of cursed wood, fed by fear and sealed with blood. Well, whatever it is, the shutters are the skin. You peel them back and you wake the heart. 2 years ago, a girl named Lila posted a video, claimed she was going to spend the night inside the House of Shutters. Document everything, prove it was fake. The footage shows her entering with a flashlight, a sleeping bag, and a voice recorder. She made it to the second floor. Said the air felt thick. Her voice slowed down like the room itself was dragging time. Then the screen flickered, and all the shutters opened at once. One by one, starting from the attic, the slats unlatched and screamed. Glass shattered, darkness poured out. The camera dropped, still running, for hours. You can hear her crying, begging, and then whispering in a voice that was not hers. They found her a day later, wandering the woods barefoot, eyes wide, fingertips shredded. She won't speak of it. Only thing she ever says now, they're not shutters, they're mouths. Well, that house is still there today, sinking a little deeper into the kudzu, the swamp, each year, covered in moss and memories. But the shutters, well, they're still shut, and they're still watching. If you drive by late, you might see them rocking gently, like they're waiting. And if you hear one creak wide, well, don't go up. Don't call out, don't knock, just keep driving. Because the House of Shutters already knows your name. And once it's whispered back, well, there's no one hearing it. Join us tomorrow night for more Southern Gothic tales.
Well, we are back today with day 8 of Southern Skeins Gothic Tales. And let's see what we have today for a color and inspiration, shall we? Here we are, day 8. Okay. Day 8. What's the inspiration? Once House of Shutters, once a grand mansion in rural Georgia, remains sealed tight with wooden shutters. Though no one lives there, neighbors say they hear piano music drifting through its halls every full moon. Day 8. Let's see. What do we have? Ooh. In the south here, we have a lot of kudzu. And when you leave residences and fences and just ground without being tended, you end up with everything being covered in kudzu. And that's what I was going for with this color. Everything just covered in kudzu.